welcome you to Spotlight on the Web, Search of the Truth, and it comes to you this and every Thursday and Sunday. We encourage you to be with us and to watch our videos and also like our page as you share with your friends also. Today we are treating a topic that is kindness, and we'll be emphasizing much on the fact that we need to have a kind heart. A kind heart. The definition of kindness is the quality of being friendly, generous, considerate. Other people also defined kindness as a behavior of ethical characteristics, pleasant disposition, concern and consideration for others. Among traces of culture, kindness is recognized as a value. In Book 2 of Rhetoric, Aristotle defines it as helpfulness towards someone in need, not in return for anything, nor for the advantage of the helper, but for that of the person being helped. The text is taken from 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse number 1 and 2. Mephibosheth was 5 years old when his father died in battle. According to chapter 4, verse number 4. David didn't show any love or kindness. He couldn't show any love or kindness to Jonathan. He purposed in his heart to look for Jonathan's relative, to whom he could offer this act of kindness to, because David had gained a lot of kindness or a kind heart from Jonathan. David took him into his family, provided him, protected him, and also let him to eat at his own table. It would be easy to care for a grown man who was lamed in both feet. No, it wouldn't be easy. But David promised to do so, just because he purposed in his heart to have a kind heart towards Jonathan. Mephibosheth is actually a man who experienced kindness at a younger age. Throughout his life, he is said to be a man who had a kind heart at his disposal. In 2 Samuel chapter 4, verse number 4, his father and grandfather died at the same hour at the age of 5. Right there, he saw a kind heart. His nurse picked him up and fled. But unfortunately for him, as he hurried to leave the scene, Mephibosheth fell from his hand and became a cripple. Very sad, although the kindness act was still ensured. Since we know the term and the meaning, we are now going to consider how to have a kind heart. Do you recall the last time you were showed an act of kindness? Do you remember the time you also showed a kind heart to somebody? Did you consider how you felt? Did you think about the person you showed kindness, how that person felt? Did you feel that heart behind you when you were showed that act of kindness? Some people are only good at showing kindness to people they love. Some too to people who are older than them. Others at their same age, and people have divided men as to whom they have to show kindness. But should that really be the case? Should you have a qualification for whom you show kindness? We shouldn't have any qualification for whom we show kindness. People have given interesting quotes on kindness. Someone said, kindness is a language that the deaf cannot hear. The deaf can hear, and the blind can also see. Another also said, kindness is an act. No matter how small it is never wasted. A great man showed his kindness by how he treats little men. Somebody said, a great man always shows his kindness by how he treats little men. You can accomplish kindness, but you can't do it by force. Be kind to people, and not only those who need them. We need to be kind to everybody. We need to show kindness to everybody we come across. There are a lot of reasons why people refuse to show kindness. Some people say everyone must work to gain something. This group of people think kindness is only done with material things. And is that really the case? That kindness is only shown to people or from people with material things? No. Friends, kindness goes beyond materiality. It goes beyond material things. Have you ever come across the concept of survival of the fittest and Darwin? It is usually associated with selfishness, but Darwin himself, who brought this concept and the famous erroneous evolution theory, didn't see mankind as biologically competitive and self-interested. Darwin believed that humans are profoundly social and caring species. He argued that sympathy and caring for others is instinctual. That means that it is so natural for a man to show kindness to his fellow. It is very natural for you to show kindness to your brother, to the man you live in the same house with, to that person, that stranger you came across. It's so natural. Had David thought how he suffered to get to that position of kinship, do you think he would have showed kindness to Mephibosheth? No. Consider the Good Samaritan. Do you think if he had considered the source of his wealth, he would have showed kindness to that stranger whom he showed kindness? No, he wouldn't. In Matthew chapter 5 verse number 42, we are told to give to him who asks, and from whom who wants to borrow from us, we shouldn't turn away. Friends, we are supposed to give, to show kindness to just anybody. We shouldn't turn away from people who need our kind acts. We should let them know that indeed we have kind hearts, because it is not only kindness that we show, it also tells the world that we have that Christian virtue. Kindness is a virtue indeed, and you have to possess one as I have to. Yes, of course, I believe some have actually requested kindness from us. But some of us, what do? We run away from them. Some people even go to the extent of telling lies, that when this person comes, tell him that I'm not there. Meanwhile, that person is there. Especially our parents do that. Have you ever considered that? You get opportunity to show kindness and you want to run away from it. Friends, you will get to know that it is more blessed to show kindness than anything. When you and I indulge in giving kindness to people, showing people that indeed we have kind hearts, we are blessed than anything that we can do. Think of it. Like I said, some of us, we create excuses for gaining blessings. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse number 48, Paul said, who has worked with his hands to get something, that he might have something to share with those who have need. Consider that. Paul affirms that Jewish law that thou shalt not steal. He tells us that, yes, indeed, it's a Christian virtue and we need not to steal. However, the thief needs to work with his hands to gain something in order to share with people. What is the meaning? By application and extension, we are to work hard to show kindness to others. The work that you do, you are not doing for your own self. You have to do it to gain something, to help yourself, to help others as well. That is why you have gained that strength that you have. That is why you are doing the work you are doing. It is not by your strength, neither it is by your might. Let us damn that mentality. And let us always develop the spirit of kindness. Let us show that indeed we have kind hearts, as we have been called by Christ. Christ had a kind heart. Let us also live that life as we live on earth. Some do not show kindness because of one reason, that the current world is not suitable for kindness. Friends, you might not belong to this category of people who refuse to let a kind heart, because the fact that the world is unsafe for showing kindness doesn't mean that we should stop it. No. I may not be able to announce this truth, that the world is very unsafe for people to show kindness extensively. But then, let us see what God has to tell us. In Titus chapter 3, verse number 8. Titus chapter 3. Verse number 8. I read from the New King James Version. This is a faithful saying, and these things I want you to confirm constantly, that those who have believed in God should be careful to maintain good works. Now listen to the next verse. These things are good and profitable to men. Friends, did you hear that? This is a faithful saying, and these things I want to affirm constantly, that you who have believed in God should be careful to maintain good works. The key word with respect to our discussion this evening is that be careful. In doing good acts, God doesn't prevent us. In fact, He needs us to do good works. But then He tells us that you and I must be careful in doing that good work. So the fact that the world is too unsafe for us to show kindness doesn't mean that we just stop it. But then you and I must be careful. We need to be careful in whatever we do. Whatever good work you are doing, friends, let us be careful, because we can never cease, and we must not cease to show that act of kindness. The phrase "be careful" is to warn us that we should proceed, but with caution. Beloved, God needs you and I to do good works, to show works of kindness to people, on our way to prove that the world that we belong is unsafe for that. But we belong to God. Therefore, we must live godly lives by showing acts of kindness, by proving to the world that yes, indeed, we have a kind heart within us. We have to show it to people. We have to let the world know that we are kind indeed. God says that we must be careful in doing that. Friends, never cease to do an act of kindness because you are scared to die or to lose something from it. No, God says that we have to be careful. When you get the opportunity to do good to others, let us grab that opportunity, but let us be careful as well. When you are requested that you should do good deeds to people, let us not run away from it. Indeed, it is true that certain times we are put in a risky environment and we can even lose our lives in such situations. But are we to stop that act of kindness? No. Example of these things are when a typical stranger stops you for a free drive or a lift, as we call it, on that part of the road where there are actually no people passing frequently, especially at night. Friends, let us be careful in this instance, because it is very risky for ourselves. We are risking our lives. The reason why we have to be careful is that in that instance, that situation is not too urgent in such a way that when you do not even give that lift, that person is not going to lose his or her soul. No, the person wouldn't die. Consider what's happened with a good Samaritan. Assuming that good Samaritan hadn't provided that act of kindness, that man could have eventually died and lost his life. Friends, let us be careful. We need to be very careful, as we are warned in the book of Titus. I believe that you bear with me that if that act of kindness, if we do not do, the person to whom we are about to do it wouldn't lose his or her life. We have to think about it very well. But we have to be critically involved to show that we have a kind heart, especially when that person to whom we are to offer that kindness might lose his or her life. When you refuse to do that, in that case, we have no option, but we have to do it. We just have to commit ourselves into the Lord's hands and do it with strength and happiness, knowing that we are not just doing it to man, but to God. This is a natural and Christian virtue that has been proven by scientists as well, that devoting resources to others rather than having more and more for ourselves only brings about lasting well-being. So currently, many colleges, including Harvard, are now emphasizing kindness on application for admissions. But I don't know how it's going to be like. Like, if you apply and you don't have that act of kindness or a kind heart, you wouldn't gain admission. I don't know. But it is a good thing that you have noticed. It is a good thing that you and I have to practice as Christians. Even if these institutions are practicing it, friends, you and I must also show that heart of kindness. These colleges are emphasizing kindness on their application for admission. One, there are a lot of ways that you and I can adopt to make our hearts a kind one. Develop the habit of giving and sharing. In 1 Timothy chapter 16, verse number 17 to 18, the Bible has a nice thing for us there to learn from. In 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse number 17 and 18. Command those who are rich in this present, who gives us richly all things good, that they may be rich in good works, ready to give, willing to share. Friends, Paul admonished Timothy that he should command those who are rich in this present age that they should not trust in that riches, but they should trust in God. Then he says that they should be willing to share. They should be willing to give. That tells us that they are being admonished to be kind as well. Friends, you and I have to be kind today in this world. As Christians, we need to be kind to people. The question I asked earlier, that do you remember when you were showed an act of kindness? Or do you remember the last time you showed an act of kindness to somebody? Let's think about this. If you have never or you can't recall any, please let us try to emulate that act of kindness, because it is a Christian virtue. Let us open our eyes and be active. That is another way that we can show a kind heart. Let us open our eyes and be active to watch people who even need our help. Some people will by no means tell us their problems. Yes, no doubt about that. Some of us, we keep things to ourselves. Even when we are in need, you feel to ask a Christian brother, I want this, sister, I need this. No, I don't know. Some people are shy just because of that. But friends, you and I who want to show to the world that we are kind, who want to prove that we have a kind heart, let us try to search for these people. I know of a friend who would go around just to find people to do good to. Think about that. He just goes around, he just be around people just to see if they are suffering, they need something, then he would provide for them. He goes to town just to see people with luggages in order to help them. When he's walking in town, he's just searching for people, searching for opportunities to help people. Friends, let us emulate this habit. In doing that, it will make us have a kind heart and to prove to people that, yes, indeed, we are kind. Not because of them, not to show off to man, but because of the God factor that's in us. How many times did we see Jesus, our master, sitting and waiting for people to come for him to show kindness? No, he went around healing people and proclaiming the word to people. He never sat down for people to come to him. How often? How many times can you recall that? But he moves around to locate people who are in need, to show them that act of kindness. It is high time you and I emulate that behavior. If indeed Jesus is, then friends, let us go around. Let us find people. Let us do good to people. Let us show them that indeed kindness is a Christian virtue, and we are learning that from our Master Jesus. David did not wait for somebody from Jonathan's household to come to him and plead and beg that, David, we know you are king. We need this and we need that. No. David purposed in his heart to search for someone from Jonathan's house. David actually didn't wait. No. He understood what kindness means. He went and he searched for Mephibosheth. He searched for somebody who was from the lineage of Saul, just to do good to that person. Friends, let us learn something from this. It teaches us a great deal of lesson. And when you and I become kind, I tell you the truth, we are going to move the world to a side that is pleasing before God. We are going to see what he did when he was on earth. You too can be searching for people to show that act of kindness. Give people money. No, that is not the only act of showing kindness. People need your advice. People need you to advise them and help them in various ways. In fact, people need you to just to encourage them. They will appreciate that indeed. A lot of people are out there who need our help in their education. They need you and I to sponsor them, to help them in one way or the other. Friends, let us think of this. Let us begin to have that mind, to have a kind heart. People are out there, they just need capital to start a work, to start a job. They are not getting. No. Let us begin to show them that act of kindness. As Christians, let us do good at any time and every time. People might ask, why should I show kindness? In fact, people don't know the reason why they have to show kindness. But of 2 Samuel, chapter 9. I read. Then the king said, is there not still someone of the house of Saul to whom I may show kindness of God? David said, is there still not someone from the house of Saul to him he might show the kindness of God. Friends, that kindness belongs to God. God is requesting you and I to be kind. David acknowledged this fact and he said, the kindness of God. If you are kind to somebody, never think that you are being kind. In fact, God wants every Christian. It is possible that you will win somebody from the world into the kingdom of God through the kind act that you do. We are supposed to have a kind heart to everybody. In Galatians chapter 5, verse number 22, another reason why you and I must be kind to people. Galatians chapter 5, verse number 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness. Friends, it is a fruit of the Spirit. He says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and others. You see, most of us, we see these things and we overlook them. Some of us think that love is greater. Some of us think if you're a peacemaker, you are doing good. Yes, indeed, you are doing good. It's not false. It's a true saying. But kindness is also part of the fruit of the Spirit. Let us learn to be kind. And in that doing, we are showing to the world that yes, indeed, we have the Spirit of God right with us. And we are bearing fruits. It is the duty of every Christian and a must for us to bear these fruits of the Spirit. Go back and read Galatians chapter 5, verse number 22 downwards. And you will see a list of them packed and arranged over there for us to learn and to bear them as well, of which kindness is not an exception. Friends, you will be blessed by the Most High God if you do so. You will gain the blessings of God if you and I show kindness. And I know blessings is something that you and I, we all deserve. No one would like to say that he doesn't like blessings. No, it can't happen. In Galatians chapter 9, in Galatians chapter 6, verse number 9, we also have something there that we are to emulate. We wouldn't take this reading, but we will continue with the reasons why you and I need to show kindness. Friends, have you ever encountered people who actually hunt for opportunities to show kindness? Like I said, I know of somebody who does that. Have you ever tried? If you haven't found one, these people are so wonderful. You can try also to be one yourself. Try to chase opportunities to do good, just to do good, just to show that act of kindness to people. Just try it. In ending our lesson on kindness, I bring to you a woman whose kindness saved her life in the end. This woman showed kindness and he was saved by it. In 1858 through to 1943, a man lived. This man, one day, at his younger age, he was so poor and he sold goods from house to house. But one day he was very hungry and he knocked on a door to ask for food to eat. But you know, something happened. A very nice, lovely lady came out of the room and this young man lost his nerves. Instead of asking for a meal, he asked for a cup of drink. And the way the guy looked, as soon as the lady looked at him, she got to know that no, this guy is not actually searching for water, no, but food to eat. She just planned in her mind to show this guy an act of kindness. Friends, she went inside and brought to this guy a glass of milk. The guy slowly drank it comfortably, and after that, she asked the lady, "How much do I owe you, woman?" But the lady said, "Mother has asked us not to receive any kindness, any pay for any kindness we do. Their parents have brought them up in a way that they are not supposed to receive any pay for a kind action." Friends, let us take something from this. If we show kindness to people, let us know it. Let us not do it because we want something from them. No. Let us look up unto God who will bless us exceedingly. So, the guy drank it and he was okay. As the lady told him that he wouldn't take anything, the guy thanked him and thanked his God as well. Years later, this guy became a doctor. Dr. Howard Kelly. I know you know about this story. He was in his consulting room and he had a call. The moment he heard the name of this patient, a strange light filled his eyes. And he searched for where this patient came from. So fortunate enough, the patient was the lady who showed that act of kindness to him some time ago. Dr. Howard Kelly planned to pay special attention to this case. God being on his side, he won. And the lady was set free. She was healed actually in a perfect condition and mood. Now, Dr. Howard Kelly requested that the bill of this lady be sent to her for approval. She wrote something on the edge of the bill that paid in full with a glass of milk. This lady got a bill into her hands and she cried because she thought it would take her whole life to work to pay for this bill. She even feared to unveil the envelope, to look at what is just there. She was scared just because she feared she couldn't pay herself. She tried and she saw a nice thing at the edge of the letter that's read, paid in full with a glass of milk. Friends, how wonderful it is. Think about it. If you were the one, just that act of kindness this lady did some time ago without knowing what she was doing. See what it ended up for her. Friends, let us try to be kind to just anybody. Dr. Howard Kelly proved to the lady that she really appreciated what she did, and he encouraged that act of kindness. Friends, this evening I also encourage you that never cease to show this act of kindness. If you accept this truth that we must show kindness, I tell you, like I said, we are going to change the world in a few years to come. People are waiting for you to show them kindness. People will follow you just because of the kindness that you show them. David asked, "Is there anyone still left in the house of Saul to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake?" Let's chase opportunities to show kindness to the world. Let us grab opportunities as soon as we see them and show kindness to everybody we come across. We thank you so much for being with us. God bless you as you continue to study with us and like our page as well. You can become a Christian today by believing in the holy right of God, the holy word that God has given to us upon which we might be saved. We have to repent of our trespasses, confessing Jesus Christ to be Lord and proclaiming that He is the one we are going to serve. We choose Him as our new master whom we are going to follow throughout our life, and giving ourselves up unto baptism. He will add us unto His church, and when we live righteously to the end, you and I are going to be saved. Be with us throughout our studies, and God bless you. Amen.